How's it going, YouTube? This is TRNJI, and today we have a What Did I Buy series video. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you have a good rest of your week. What's up? What's new? What's exciting? Yeah, a lot going on. A lot going on in the world right now. It's actually affecting the Pokemon card market. It's actually kind of, I was going to say funny. Some of it's the way I think a lot of people are reacting. A little bit funny, comical, but I guess it's more of a serious situation. I don't know. We're not in some sort of crash right now. If anything, we're in a correction based on the policies that are being put in place. I'm not going to get too much into the politics of it, but we will talk quick. If you guys want to skip ahead like 5 minutes, we'll talk quick about the tariffs here. Just because everybody seems to be posting like these gloom and doom things, and things are going to change, but I think that's something I've learned in business now for the last 15 years, counting my other business, the time that I spent in that. Adapt and survive. That's how it works. You have to understand that things are going to change, and you're not just going to go straight line on your merry way through life, through your business, and just have no hiccups, no changes, no nothing, and live in paradise. It's just not how things work. So definitely going to see some changes. I think there's some things that are being said, and there's the things that aren't being said that aren't considered as well. I'll just give my 2 cents. Again, if you guys want to skip ahead about 5 minutes, we'll jump into the actual sales recap. But I figure Monday's kind of not just the sales recap, but almost like an update for the week and what's going on. Maybe I'll do a separate series on this at some point. But yeah, skip 5 minutes ahead if you don't want to hear me ramble and talk. Most of you probably will. But anyway, buying power is also dropping, at least if you're in the US. I don't know anything about, everyone else's currency. You'll have to look yourself what your buying power is looking like as opposed to the yen right now. But because of the market going down in the US, the buying power between US and Japan is dropping. Probably 10 cents on the dollar or something like that. I guess I could look it up. Yen to USD. Yen to USD. USD to yen is actually what I wanted. All right. So just to put in perspective, let's do 1 month. It actually looks like it shot up a little bit overnight, which is weird. Buying power just 2 weeks ago would have been $1 was equal to 150 yen. As of Friday, it dropped down to 145 yen per dollar, and now it looks like just today, because it bounces all around today, because the markets didn't do quite what everyone was expecting. They didn't tank again today. It's at 147. But overall, we looked at 1 month. We'll do 1 year, because it's more than just that. You look at December, and we're at 160. So 13 yen on the dollar, we're dropping down from January, December, basically. And the all-time low, I remember it at one point, we'll do 5 year, yeah. It was almost down to equal, where 100 yen was worth $1, and that was back in 2020 and 2021. So then you got to understand, again, your buying power drops drastically. So, when I tell you I bought 200,000 yen worth of stuff for... at the best point, probably like $1,300, $1,400. Back then, that would have been an equal trade, pretty much, like $2,000 for 200,000 yen. So again, it's not crazy right now, but we are seeing a drop in buying power. Couple that with the 24% tariff that is currently imposed. I know people are speculating, and there's also supposedly a workaround by simply shipping out less, like a sub $800 order, in order to avoid that. Nobody's really sure how it worked. I've shipped out a order over that. I'm going to see what happens. I'm just going to pay it if it happens. But you have less buying power. Your tariffs are going to hit you with 24%. So buying from Japan has now not become more complicated. Tariffs, it's going to end up, as soon as you figure it out, it's going to end up getting just charged to you when you ship out an order, but it's going to increase your costs significantly. You're going to be the one that foots the bill for this. I'm going to be the one that foots the bill. Everyone down the chain basically foots the bill for the increase in costs and lower buying power. So what is that going to do to the market? Well, it's kind of interesting because the big issue right now, especially with dealing stuff like this, vintage, it already was getting more expensive and drying up. So now there's even less and the cost is going up. So my assumption, and I think what most people are assuming, is that prices on singles and graded are going to go up. Now, another layer on top of this, because we're just layering it all on here, the cost of grading I saw just went up today by $2 for bulk. Now, $18.99 is still cheaper than what it was at one point during COVID when you couldn't grade at all. But basically, PSA is saying they have a ton of submissions, which I do believe that they have been getting slower before this announcement. And typically what they do when they start to slow down is they raise the price because it limits the amount of people sending stuff in, but they also don't lose money because they're charging more. And then that lets them get caught up. They're still making the same amount of money. And then if things mellow out, then the price will go down again. So we're layering three things on the cake right now. Three layer cake here. We have your lower buying power, we have your tariffs increasing the cost of goods, and on top of that, your grading costs going up. Now, what does this all mean? Well, if you're talking about people that grade and flip and dip the modern stuff constantly, I think this is going to drive some of them out of the market. I think that this is going to scare them away enough, increase costs enough on their very minimal margins, profit margins, that they're probably going to leave the market, or at least wait for better times, and then they come back like a plague. That's just always how the quick flip and dip people work. The money's easy, they're there. The money's hard, they're gone. That's how it works. It's just always how it is with anything. It's what everyone talks about with the quote unquote scalpers. With English modern, when the money's easy, there's people there. When the money's not, people go away. So I think your biggest thing you're going to see is kind of like an uptick in price. If you're sourcing from Japan yourself, you're going to see an uptick in price. If you are buying from people like me, you're going to see, an uptick in price. Now, for me, I'm not going to just overcharge because, the prices and everything went up when I have a ton of inventory here already. But you guys know how I list. I list based on what is available. So whatever other people are listing and what they're listing, I usually typically list right around there, or a little bit higher. And then when I run a sale and stuff like that on occasion, price goes down. But you're gonna see, I think, an uptick in prices across the board. And then you got to think about it. If your cost goes up in grading as well, grading prices being at $2 higher, you're probably going to see a increase in prices on stuff. And then not only that, but that deters people from sending in certain stuff. You know what I mean? Like if there's a chance that even with a 10, you only make like $3-4 selling it because the price of a 10 is that low, those people probably are going to think twice before sending it in, because if they get a 9, it's a loss. So there's a lot of things going to change here. The dynamic of the way things operate is definitely going to change. Now, another downside to this that I see potentially happening is we're just talking about the Japanese side of this. So if all the prices of this stuff go up, okay, especially the big thing too, I see the people that sell like modern boxes for a living, they're freaking out about this because you got to pass the cost on to you in order for them to make a profit. If Japanese becomes, number one, tougher to get because there's less coming in because of people leaving the flip and dip and also people paying more, you are going to see people trying to buy English more. Well, English already has a supply issue. So I don't want to scare anyone on the English side of things, but it might get even worse than what it already is as far as English goes. I mean, that's just speculation, but when you kind of do the math here, if you understand like what I'm saying, it kind of makes sense. Like you would literally just need people to stop being interested altogether in order to avoid that happening, which I don't see happening at all. So, it's going to be interesting how this all plays out throughout the rest of the year. I am very fortunate that I'm not in the flip and dip thing. I'm not just trying to buy, sell everything immediately. Like you guys know, and it's weird. My laziness to an extent has also often benefited me. Maybe it's laziness, maybe it's patience. I'd rather call it laziness because I don't think I'm smart enough to be patient and do what it needs to be to quote unquote time the market. But yeah, I'm definitely fortunate with the amount of inventory that I have right now, because realistically, I probably have like 2 years worth of stuff in order to list singles, grade, etc., that I could just kind of chill through this. And then if things get better, if things get cheaper in Japan, then, start buying again. I don't think it's going to take that long, but who knows? Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen here. So in my mind, this isn't all gloom and doom. When you think about during COVID, how crazy the prices went up on everything, we're probably not going to experience near that. Not only that, but you couldn't get stuff shipped from Japan, so there was even less supply there. And then on top of that, you couldn't even submit to PSA. And then when you could submit to PSA, it was like $50 a card. So the people glooming and dooming right now, this is just a adjustment. Again, adapt and survive. The adjustment we have to make right now, it's something we have to do, and we'll, guide through it. We'll cruise and figure it all out, and, hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel for both businesses and collectors and anyone that is involved in this hobby. So that's my 2 cents on all that. It was longer than 5 minutes. I do apologize. I'm sure there's some things I missed there, but I just thought with everything going on, it wouldn't be a bad idea to discuss it off the jump, because it does affect me, it does affect you, but it isn't the end of the world. The sky isn't falling. You have to just be calm, stay the course, and ride the roller coaster right now. So that being said, let's jump into this. Monday weekend sales recap. Definitely heavier on the singles this week than graded. Also, real quick, I do apologize I didn't get you guys in our video last week. Just to put it in a SparkNote version, I recorded a What Did I Buy series video. It was recording, and 25 minutes in, I realized it was not recording. So I must either bumped a button myself, or the clamp here touched a button on the sides of the phone or something. I don't know. But either way, it killed my vibe for recording for the week. So I did not record and get a video out for you guys. And I do apologize, but that was a killer, because I basically talked to myself for 25 minutes. So anyway, again, let's jump into this. Good mix of stuff here. Let's turn the light on. But like I said, overall heavier on the singles. Get this page set up. Total for this weekend was $1,621.40. As always, that does not deduct eBay fees, shipping costs, taxes, etc. That is simply the gross amount for what you see in front of you. We got some cool cards off the jump here. English, Japanese, good artwork. Oh, well, some people don't like Kamiya. You know who you are. But yeah, good variety of stuff, some fun stuff, some stuff that probably hasn't been shown on one of my videos before, other than maybe if it came in with a What Did I Buy series video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Again, total for this weekend was $1,621.40. First up, we have Doug Trio. Fantastic artwork by Kamiya here from Miracle Crystal Light Play, $13.59. Unique card here for sure. This is an APOM from the DP entry pack. It's a little like sub-deck box set thingy that came out in Diamond and Pearl. Nice artwork by Kamiya once again. Doubling up on... Is this all Kamiya? You know what? Then this person must have just ordered Kamiya stuff. That's actually kind of cool. But APOM DP entry pack, near mint, $11.04. I think APOM's kind of an underrated Pokemon, in my personal opinion, but you guys know I say that about just about every Pokemon. So, Light Ladian Neo for Destiny. This is a rare from the set. Again, another extremely nice Kamiya artwork. Excellent condition, $5.09. We have Ho-Oh here, the Coral comic promo, heavily played, $7.64. Palkia, this is from the Shaman Level X deck. This also has a print in the Play series where it's a holo, but heavy play in this copy, $2.54. We have Uxie, however you want to pronounce it, from Cry for Mysterious, near mint, $25.49. Empoleon Level X, this is the Space-Time Creation version, near mint, $25.49. We have a Beware here, SMP promo. This would have been like a Spring Festival giveaway is what I have here, so that makes sense. You can't see it, unfortunately, but there's a nice stamp here. Near mint, $8.07. We have the Weavile G from Galactic's Conquest. Light play. Just got to scroll down in order to see the price, huh? $6.79. We have another Kamiya artwork here. We have the Ludicolo from Miracle of Desert, moderately played, $6.79. Salamence, Shining Darkness, Damage Condition, $4.24. I always really like this one. I don't know what it is. It's definitely a weird artwork, but it's like a good artwork. I don't know. I guess that makes sense, but doesn't. I don't know. But Noctowl Heart Gold Collection, heavily played, $6.79. Another good one, and another really good Pokemon as well. Charizard, VMAX Climax Holo Rare, near mint, $4.03. We have the Yukiko Baba artwork here of Chansey, looking pretty derpy. Golden Sky Silvery Ocean, near mint, $11.04. Baneri, nice holo with a swirl here. Near mint, $15.29. Diamond and Pearl promo, that's from the Please Trade event. Got some VS series here. We have Karen's Rapidash, light play, $7.64. Bugsy's Yanma, light play, $6.79. Price's Cloyster, light play, $6.79. Claire's Mantine, light play, $6.79. We have a beautiful Gardevoir from Dawn Dash, PSA 10, $97.74. Another Kamiya artwork here, excuse me. We have Janine's Beedrill from VS, near mint, $16.99. This is kind of interesting, kind of cool. Curious what this person's doing. Maybe they're trying to grade a copy. Maybe they just love Psyduck. But we have Psyduck, 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 Psyduck. 19 copies of Psyduck from 151. Total for all 19 copies was $36.29. I think that puts them at just shy of $2 a piece. But yeah, it's really good artwork. I mean, again, I don't know if he's trying to grade them or not, but I would assume there's at least one. I mean, there's got to be 110 copy in here, considering these are all pack fresh. But yeah, I mean, it's good artwork. Look at him. Look at the boy. I don't know if I said this at the beginning or not, but I apologize about my fingernails, but they're extra long right now. I just realized that. I seriously, it's like I clip my nails like once a week sometimes, and they still just grow out really long. I don't know if that's good, bad. Maybe it means I'm healthy. I have no idea, but I do apologize. They're not dirty. They're just long. So anyway, moving on. Vaporeon Best of XY. Moderately played, $3.39. We have Rapidash Expedition Reverse Foil, PSA 5, $16.14. We have Mesprit, Cry from Mysterious, Level X, PSA 10. Keep doing this where I'm like, don't have the price showing when I'm at the end. $110.49. We have Arcanine, Cardass Vending, PSA 8, $56.52. Hoopa, full art movie ticket giveaway promo. We're going to see a couple of those in here, just like we seem to every weekend. Definitely dwindling on what I have listed, but I do have more in the tank to get listed at some point. We have two here, both in excellent condition, both sold for $28.89. So like, what, $57.78 or something like that for the two of them. Rocket's Articuno EX from the Silver Deck Kit, near mint, $67.49. This is definitely the type of stuff that is drying up and you're not seeing quite as often. We have the Rayquaza Deoxys Clash of the Summit top legend piece here in PSA 10 condition, $378.24. This stuff is definitely starting to grow on me a little bit. We have the Empoleon Holo Rare from Ultramoon, PSA 10, $42.49. I was thinking about this earlier when I picked this out, and it's like one of those things where time definitely gives you a different perspective on things. When this first came out, we're at 2017, so, oh my God, 8 years ago. Crazy. I mean, obviously, I don't know the exact month this came out, but estimate 8 years ago. When this first came out, like, you see it, it's everywhere, it's cheap, like, you just kind of bypass this if you're in the packs because you've seen it, and now it's like, wow, like, you know, You don't just see these every day, and not that they're not available. I mean, I'm not saying this stuff isn't available, but this stuff is now. Sun and Moon is one of those eras that stuff is starting to dry up, and you're not seeing it as often. This is definitely something that people don't grade quite as often, and you're really just starting to appreciate it and say, you know, wow, like, yeah, like the border, things are a little bit less flashy, kind of bland in the modern era, but this is still a nice Empoleon artwork, and it is a nice holo, and just an overall nice card. So, just kind of my 2 cents on that. But again, PSA 10, $42.49. Next up, we have dual Sudowoodos here. Dual wood. You know, take that in perspective. Dual wood. Anyway, Cedar Lakes. We got a PSA 7, sold for $15 flat. And we have a PSA 9 copy that sold for $33.99. This is a rare from the set. This is a beautiful Nishida artwork, and I really do like Sudowoodo. So, not sure if this person collects Sudowoodo or what, but yeah, enjoy these in your collection. Last stack here. I did a lot of blabbing to you guys today in the beginning of this rather than just this, so, you know, I did give you a warning, so don't yell at me. I gave you a warning. I sometimes don't do that, but yeah, going through this isn't taking all that much time. We're about, like, what, 10 minutes into it. So, last stack here. Let's get through it, and then, yeah, get this shipped out and more grinding to do today. Glaceon, Dawn Dash, Near Mint, and this is a beautiful copy, if I do say so myself. Near Mint, $29.74. We have the Mega Kangaskhan EX from Wild Blaze. Excellent condition, $8.49. We have the... Oh, I thought that was Gang Punch at first. That would actually be... It's Gangan. We're just going to call it Gang Punch because I want it to be that. But this is kind of a cool card. XY Era is definitely another one. I mean, you're getting even older here. This, like, Wild Blaze is like 2014. This stuff is starting to dry up big time. XY, Black and White has already been there and is getting even worse. And then it just gets worse and worse as you go down the line. And things get more expensive. And then when you throw on top of everything that's going on right now, it continues to get more expensive. So if you're looking for stuff, if it seems too cheap, and we're not just talking about buying it to make money. If it seems too cheap and you're looking for it for your collection, I just, from personal experience, if you have the money and it's not a stretch, just buy it. Don't wait, just buy it. Because you'll thank yourself later when it goes up double or something like that. And then, oh, wow. Well, instead of having to pay double the price for this card, now I can buy another card that I wanted for the collection and I already have it. Just think about that. And you're never going to time it just right all the time. Trust me, it's not how it works. But there's just a lot of cards in my past where I'm like, man, that's a must-have for my collection, but I didn't buy it just now when I thought it was too cheap, and then now I'm spending double, and I'm like, wow, you're an idiot. So, yeah, just my 2 cents on that. Kabutops. I love this one because it being the Delta species electric type. We have the Kabutops here from Holland Phantoms in excellent condition, $18.69. Umbreon from Thunder Knuckle, excellent condition, $25.49. We have a Manaphy here from Mythical Dreamshine Collection, moderately played, $1.69. I think Mythical Dreamshine Collection is a little underrated, but it's just my opinion. Prince of the Sea, Manaphy Hollow from the 10th movie set, moderately played, $6.79. We have Eevee here. This is a fantastic Sumiyoshi Kazuki artwork. This is from Split Earth. Excellent condition, $19.54. Speaking of good artwork, a lot of people like to bag on Black and White. And, I mean, people bag on everything. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow, this is actually good. Perfect example, we have a Miltank here from Spiral Force. This one in near mint condition. Sold for $6.79. And again, I just really think that this is a good artwork. This is by Mahao. I don't know how to pronounce it. I know they've done a lot of good artwork, but yeah. Don't sleep on stuff. Like, take it all in. It doesn't matter if it's common, uncommon. It doesn't matter if it's energy, if it's good. You know what I mean? Like, just take it all in. Buy what you like. Buy what you want. You know, not what everyone else is hype beasting and buying, you know? Blaze your own path. That's my philosophy for the day. All right, moving on. Now that you hate me, Togekiss PSA 10 from Reviving Legends, $63.74. This is a good one. I do like how in this set, there's nothing crazy going on in a lot of these, but they did like the stones in the photos where that they needed for Evolve. This one, I would assume, I think is a light stone. But yeah, I just think I always thought that was cool. And this is a really good Nishida artwork. Again, $63.74 on the Togekiss. Another movie ticket giveaway promo here of Hoopa. This one in light play condition, $22.94. We have the Vulpix here, Alolan Vulpix. This is the Daiichi Pan promo from SMP. Daiichi Pan is a bread company. They've partnered with Pokemon a lot. Is it No. Definitely Black and White era. Yeah. I don't know about Diamond and Pearl, but definitely Black and White era. I can picture in my head some Daiichi Pan promos. So they've partnered with Pokemon for a long time. They've done a lot of these promos. So whenever you see Daiichi Pan, that's what it is. But again, near mint condition on this one at $10.19. Cool one here. We have the Team Magma's Numel from Double Crises. They are putting them to work, apparently. I'm not sure if because they're the evil people that these guys are slaves and they're pulling this cart against their will, or maybe they're happy to pull the cart. I really don't know. It's got Magma on it. This guy looks motivated and pumped. This guy looks, well, he looks derpy, like he doesn't know what's going on. And this guy's like, well, I'm going to hide back here and I'm not going to pull the card, and I'm not going to push it, but I'll pretend to. So, yeah, I like this card. I think it's a good one. The camera up is good as well from this. But PSA 10, $46.74. We have the Croconaw here from Heart Gold Collection, reverse foil, heavily played, $5.09. We have Eevee from Dark Rush, moderately played. I really like this artwork. Hey. There's Mahau again, or Mahau, or if anyone knows how to pronounce that, tell me. But moderately played in this copy, $3.39. Another Eevee here, this one by Himeno. Heavily played, $5.94. It's from the Shaman Level X deck. We have Dark Wartortle here, the angriest war turtle that is ever lived. Damage condition, $1.69. Flygon, I really like this artwork by Saito. Flygon from Bonds at the End of Time, excellent condition, $14.99. Electrode, got the retro throwback jungle, really nice swirl in this copy, moderately played, $7.99. Lapras, this is a nice Lapras artwork. Naoki Saito artwork. SG1, this is from like a starter deck, near mint, $2.49. And lastly, we have quite an odd one here. We have Kling Klang Hollow from the Black Collection. PSA 10, $60 flat. I love when people buy this kind of stuff. I think this person reached out. This is actually a gift for somebody, so I really hope they enjoy it. This is just a cool card. I don't know anything else to say about it. Kling Klang. What a Pokemon. But then again, there's other weird Pokemon. And why wouldn't there be this Pokemon? You know what I mean? You got to think about that sometimes. So, I don't know. Good card. All right, guys. Again, total for this weekend was $1,621.40. Thank you to everybody that purchased. Repeat buyers, I see you. Anyone new here, that, especially if you stayed this long to listen to all this BS, welcome and thank you. Appreciate it. These will go out today. You will see them middle to end of this week, depending on USPS and their efficiency level. Obviously, for international, that doesn't count. Yeah, thank you to anybody that purchased. Really do appreciate it. Thanks to everybody that's always watching. Really do appreciate that as well. And again, I know things seem crazy right now. You're going to have moments like that in time. That's just how things are, especially when things aren't quote unquote normal or going with the flow, like things do most times. You just got to just relax, man. Stay the course. You know, it's not the end of the world. You know, if you have, I always say, if you have a little bit of money in the bank, your bills are paid, you have a shirt on your back and food on your plate, and you're healthy, especially, you know, what do you, what else do you need? Like, you don't have the newest, latest, greatest thing or whatever, or, you know, things aren't quite perfect and you don't have this massive house that you know, supposedly want to live in or anything like that. As long as you have those basic things, you can ride the storm, and things will get better eventually, and you can grind and push forward again once again. So again, it's not all gloom and doom. Just again, stay the course, relax, sit back, and let everyone else struggle and watch them, and you yourself breathe in and mellow out. Goose Fraba. As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, or don't. But either way, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you.